I want a show of hands maybe, or feel free to drop it in the chat if this if you can maybe feel me when I say this, right? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Or are you one of those people in this particular time that said, man, I don't have enough? Or maybe one of your statements is saying, man, I've fallen and I can't get up, right? These are some of the subliminal messages that's coming across commercials. Or I'm in pain and I have no help. Or they want, it's just certain things that we have been looking for that we just don't have the answers to, or maybe even don't have the help to get there. Well, you see me starting off with this screen because there's certain things that we're exposed to, and I don't necessarily think that we are consciously paying attention, right? And I think that this may have been either just habitual, some programmed, some may have said, well, nobody told me. But all these avenues that we see thriving in our world, there's so many different things and so many different places where we hear people either they're having a breakthrough, financial breakthroughs, or there's some people that are exempt from having to go physically through the things that we go through. And we might say, well, that's not fair. How did they get it? Oh, I remember when the pandemic first hit and so many people were in line to get the vaccination, but you saw people jumping ahead of the line. Well, how did they get access before me, right? Or before my community? Well, sometimes you all, we may, not all the times, but sometimes we may be missing out on something. Yeah, not just because we weren't invited to the table, but sometimes we pass over opportunities repeatedly. We're not in the circle of where information is being shared, and then we end up being compromised by that. So some things we just don't see because it's not really, we either pass it up because it doesn't make sense. Let me give you an example. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and all that stuff, the money in the sky, that just didn't make sense to me. I'm like, no, my money is in the bank. I can't see giving you money and you can't tell me where it is. That just didn't make sense to me then. However, I think that was my not being educated on exactly what it is, right? And what is a Google? And let me tell you, when Google first started and what was being offered for Google, now I had opportunity to get in all these different things, right? Or at least get shares or get a piece or get it when it was low, at a low price. Now, Google just didn't make sense to me because at the time it was border bookstores, right? There were bookstores that was booming, brick and mortars. I'm like, I'm gonna order my books online. And this little dude who had started this company, these people, they didn't have all the books that I wanted. That didn't make sense to me that it was going to be something to take over a whole industry of bookstores, especially traditional bookstores. I didn't see it happening, but look at it today. Now they're just not selling books. They offer movies, right? And all different types, So, and that's, wait a minute, that's Amazon. That's Amazon. I'm sorry, that's not Google. But did you actually see, let me go back to Google and go to this Facebook and all this stuff, communicating without a rotary phone or without my cell phone? Wait a minute, that didn't make sense. Or the technology of Apple. I'm like, I hated Apple. I'm like, I want my PC, my Hewlett Packard. I couldn't see something with one network actually taking over the whole world. I just couldn't see that. So how is it that in now times, all of these things that I missed out on, they're booming and they're now $1 billion industries. So I want to ask you, what opportunity did you miss? Let me fast forward a little bit, and let me say this. This was put out by the World Economic Forum saying they want us to own nothing and be happy. Wait a minute, let me think about that. You want me to own nothing and you still go make me happy. Man, you know what? But the realistic part is I was in the barbershop having shop talk the other day. And one of the young brothers walked in, and as we would say, he was Dougie'd out. He was G'd up, right? And I'm wondering, like, he was excited. He was happy. He had on some fresh gym shoes. He had on his overalls. He had just got his dreads and his braids done. And he was like, man, I'm killing it. Feeling good, young life. Me hop in my car. And I was like, and he was happy. So I asked him, I said, man, what is it? What are your assets? What is it that you own? And he was like, nothing. And I was like, and he was like, I'm cool, Minister Mooney. I'm straight. Got my ride, got my, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay. I'm thinking about it even further. And I'm like, man, okay, is this a generation? And even though they're working a job and they making $40,000 to $50,000 an hour, 40 to 50,000 a year, is it possible that we can eventually be in a world where now they're wearing goggles, they're laying in the bed, and they can imagine themselves now on vacation in Bahamas or Dubai, and they with their friends in these goggles, and they happy, but they own nothing. Is that possible? Let me say this is what it sounds like to me. And please, this is being recorded, so I gotta watch myself. But let me say this. I remember a time where I heard about a time in which there were people who were working, and they were working 10 to 12, probably even longer hours, and working with their hands, right? And they got a chance to eat off the field. However, they didn't own the field that they were working. And where they stayed and lived, they didn't own that either. But they were happy and they were fearful from running away from that lifestyle because they didn't know what else was out there. So they were pretty much looking at, well, where we at? If I'm not running, I'm not going nowhere because I don't know what else is out there. I want you all to know that is very possible because you haven't been exposed to what else is out there that you don't know. And your lifestyle, maybe, is it possible that you're content with your lifestyle because it's comfortable? But to me, this world is going in a direction where they want you to stay right there. See, when they deny you a seat at the table, you got to build your own table. And this is something that we have done here in the Wakanda, because we can kind of see something a little different that's happening. So is it just that we're a company? No, we never started out just being a company. We started out being a movement. All those things that I just talked about, where there was something that needed to happen. There needed to be some Harriet Tubmans to step into this space and take us to a different place. And these Harriet Tubmans, I'm going to show you who they are, but they said that we need to end the negative stigma that's caused communities around the world to suffer and lose out on the health and the wealth benefit at the time of the cannabis plant. And then say, okay, well, in order to do that, we need to empower some people as well, investors, right? People who wanted to take up the courage to take back something that was clearly taken away from them. And let me show you how easy that something that was legal at the time, clearly you can look at this picture, and then all of a sudden it's been compromised because of a negative stigma. Right here, this looks like something that would be in your medicine cabinet, but now it's taboo. How is that? Now you see big companies on these bottles, Maryland Company, McKinsey and Robbins, Eli Lilly, and you see the words indica and sativa. And I don't want to go too deep in that, but let me point out to you what this document actually says. And it says that there's a United States patent on cannabis as antioxidants and neuroprotectants. Now, that don't sound like getting high. And then this word cannabinoids is used. And look at the date of this document. Look at that. That is October the 7th of 2003. Well, how is that actually possible? Why doesn't it say marijuana? Why doesn't it say CBD, but it says all cannabinoids, because that's a plural word, as antioxidants and neuroprotectants? Now, in the medical world, antioxidants and neuroprotectants, they carry some big tags. Well, let me go a little step further, because that's a rhetorical question that I asked, but I want you to think about it. If back in the early times, right, and you look at the history of cannabis dated back to 500 BC, well, you can see that cannabis was used for botanical benefits, not just to get high. And why would America in its early colonies be required to grow hemp? Why? Why would they be required, the farmers, to grow hemp in Virginia, Massachusetts, Connecticut? Is it just for people to get high? That just doesn't make sense to me. That sounds like that would necessarily be tearing down the economy. But however, if this is the plant that grows faster than trees, or weed that grows faster than trees, that can be used for textiles, paper, sails, and rope, well, that now makes sense, because you're talking about an industrial boom. I want everybody to take a time to write this down. The Men Who Built America. That's a documentary that I looked at, and it was very interesting because it pretty much was a Monopoly board game. And that game pretty much was all about leverage. The early bird gets the worm, and if I could leverage an industry, then I can make a lot of money and I can have a lot of control. But what happened during those times, because of that monopoly, political factors kicked in to make regulation happen and to make it where, you know what, you can't, not one person, not Morgan Freeman, not Carnegie, not anybody can have just this lockdown on a particular industry. Well, wouldn't it make sense that you got this weed that grows faster than trees, that was going to mess with the paper industry? So regulation and different political factors kicked in, and what? This plant was criminalized through the war on drugs, and so many different communities were compromised. Well, here's another compromising community. On the bottom of this screen, you can read the number of people who have been compromised that we actually love and were very instrumental in their art. However, there was a direction, a wide road, a clear road that they chose and pretty much was introduced to in order to help them, but I think they were pretty compromised as well. See, the right side of the road is always the narrow path, and there's usually something blocking. There's a state of resistance that's in that path that stops you from going down that path. Special agents, maybe hired agents, or maybe people who allude to the ones that we should be listening to, are telling us, no, don't go down that road. But is it possible that the plant-based lifestyle is something that can help us? Or is it something that will harm us because of the negative stigma that's been put out there about it? I want you to think about that. But then at the same time, I want you to think about what we go to CVS and Walgreens for, and is it really helping us when we're being sent there with a piece of paper saying that you can have this at so many dollars that we just don't have? And we find our bills going up and up and up. And then if you really want to get deep down, you see this document that says, well, my boy Reggie, when he was young and he was smoking, God rest his soul, he used to always tell me, Mooney, ain't nobody ever died from smoking marijuana or smoking weed. And I'd be like, man, you just want to get high. And it's hurting our community. And I said, I was like the Apostle Paul, y'all, when it came to this plant, castrating everybody who I saw smoking it. But if Reggie would have had this document all the way when we were in high school, this is 1987. Actually, I wasn't in high school. I was in 8th grade. And if Reggie would have had this document at that time when it was produced, and it said, if he would have said to me, Mooney, look at this. All that medication that people are taking have toxic, potentially lethal effects, but marijuana is not such a substance. There is no record in extensive medical literature describing a proven, documented cannabis-induced fatality. If Reggie, while we was playing cards, we're not in 8th grade, but maybe when we was shooting marbles and he would have laid that on the table, boom, that would have been the trump card. And I'm not using that word as a play on words, because there's actually something that he, number 245, did, and I'm not giving him any credit. It's something that happened that pretty much changed the game when it comes to this industry, and that's the 2018 Farm Bill. Look that up and write that down, 2018 Farm Bill. So I'm gonna go through this video. It is a little long, but I wanna play part of it, and I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I'm just gonna play clips, and you're gonna hear me fast forward, because I think there's some nuggets that I want you to take out of it. So check it out.
Hello, my name is Dr. David Allen. I'm a retired cardiac surgeon and a member of the International Cannabinoid Research Society, ICRS. That means I'm a cannabinoid research scientist. And I'm here to tell you about the discovery of the endocannabinoid system, the ECS, and the significance and how it will change medicine. And we discovered the endocannabinoid system about 30 years ago, and we really didn't understand the significance of its discovery. And so we found out that this is a chemical communication that your body has. It's not electrical, it's chemical, and it's kind of like the hormone systems that people are familiar with. And your body makes these cannabinoids. They're endogenous, so they're endocannabinoids, and they perform some miraculous functions in the body. And we're just learning the significance of these functions. And basically, the endocannabinoid system is responsible for homeostasis. Most people don't understand what that really means, but it's the body's ability to maintain itself and function in the proper environment. And so it's critically important that that doctors in the future understand this control mechanism. And we're finding out that that manipulation of this endocannabinoid system will control diabetes. It controls cancer. It controls whether you can survive a heart attack or stroke. And so this is critically important for doctors to understand this new science. And the discovery of the endocannabinoid system is the single most important medical scientific discovery ever, and will save more lives than the discovery and application of sterile surgical technique. And I'm a heart surgeon saying that. So more people will be saved by manipulation of the endocannabinoid system than are currently saved by surgery.
Step outside the box, and the number of cancers, there's about a dozen different cancers that have been studied in depth with medicinal marijuana, with hemp. And so the studies, from brain cancer to prostate cancer to pancreatic cancer, uterine cancer, cervical cancer, prostate cancer, it's amazing.
Okay, so what is in hemp?
Yeah.
That it's this THC, correct?
Well, there's chemicals that are called cannabinoids.
Right.
THC is short for delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol.
I'm glad you said it, because I couldn't.
That's the only time I'll get it right. I'm glad I got it right. So that's the one, THC is the one cannabinoid that everyone's familiar with. That's the one that's psychoactive, and that's the one that gets you high if you smoke it.
Okay. But
there's other cannabinoids. One is called CBD, cannabidiol, and it's very medicinally used. There's no psychoactive component of CBD.
So what do? Extract these to make tinctures?
Yeah,
or you can make tea out of?
You can make tea, you can eat it. It's a great superfood. You're into raw. A lot of people use raw hemp in their superfoods.
Well, do you get high off of hemp if you eat it as a superfood?
No, well,
or just the seeds?
You've got to heat the THC to make it become psychoactive. So people that eat the plant, they put it in a smoothie. You know, there's super green smoothies.
Right.
You're not going to get high off of that because you didn't superheat it.
But is it then, if you put it in a smoothie like that, is it a good prevention to cancer?
It is. It's very well. It's got a perfect ratio of omega-3 to 6 fatty acids. It's got more GLA, gamma-linolenic acid, than any other plant. So it's got some really great fats. You're well aware of the importance of good fats in your diet.
Yeah.
So hemp it's a perfect superfood to eat, but it's also medicinal.
I just never understood why hemp had gotten such a bad rap, and now I understand that it was really politically motivated by somebody who owned basically trees and didn't want to be in competition with the hemp to make paper. And yet, throughout the years after that, so many people suffered because of that.
Yeah.
So I guess it's actually a good thing that people are coming around a little bit.
It is. I'm really encouraged about the different legislation in different states that are trying to legalize medicinal hemp, because of the fact that it is so good. It's not just a superfood. It's not just great for industrial uses, as we've mentioned, but it's a really good medicine.
All right, so pretty much, I think that really breaks down the medical use of the plant. You heard it from the doctors, you heard the history of what I shared. So it's very important, you all, to pay attention to the big word that we've been seeing at CVS, Walgreens, and that's CBD, that doesn't have a psychoactive effect. We're most commonly known about, we mainly hear about delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol, which is THC, marijuana, and all those Mary Jane, and Mary and Juan, all those negative stigmas that's been attached to the plant, but it's not the only part of the plant. It's not the only part of the family. I want you to imagine that you got a whole lot of cousins and a whole lot of friends, and you got this one cousin that shows up to the party. He always turning it up, right? And he probably have a history that a lot of people don't want to be attached to. Well, let me call that cousin marijuana or THC. But he does have benefits by being in the family, and that's what you see on the screen. But then you got that one cousin that everybody loves because he never got in any trouble, right? And that's CBD. He shows up and everybody's still showing THC love, but they hug on this cousin because this cousin went to college, has started their own business, has done so much. Well, that's CBD. As you see going down the middle of the screen, CBD is the Michael Jordan of the plant. Now, all of these cousins, believe it or not, they part of a family that works together. So if you made this family a security company, would you all believe that this security company would be able to protect the whole family? And that family is your body. So if each cousin and different cousins was set up all around their security center, right? And let's say if you was protecting a bank, every cousin has this benefit of how to protect. And these cannabinoids, these cousins go around the whole body and make sure they keep free radicals, cancer, all these different things going out. Now that OG cousin, somebody drop it in the chat, because there was cousins that God placed in us previous to these cousins that I'm telling you about. And that's anandamide and 2-AG. Those are the OG cousins that everybody has, which makes sense for the endocannabinoid system. But when the body is compromised, you always need help. When your neighborhood is compromised, you always need help. When the family is compromised, you always need help. And the vision of the whole company went from just cannabis now to elevating the well-being of your body and your soul. So now when you look at Akana, which is what's coming, right? Our new branding, you see what's behind me, you see all the pretty, when you look at now Akana, what we believe now that health, wealth, freedom, and legacy are our birthright. By offering the most life-changing products and an innovative business, we empower people to elevate to their full potential. And let me give you some history, because I didn't cover that in the beginning of our company. We launched, like I said, on Weed Day of April 20, 2019, with just the CBD oils and essential oils and products. But in 2022, we expanded and became and included a complete line of wellness and weight management products. Now that changed the game, right? In 2021, we introduced a flat belly lifestyle. You saw then physical, visual transformations from everybody who was attached to Wakanda that took that process of learning what their blood type is, eating according to their blood type, going through the bioscan and seeing what's going on the inside. These are all innovative things that nobody else was doing in the community but Wakanda. And we have more than 20, this is being very conservative, 30,000 customers. That's me saying that. I know we have 30,000 customers, right? and like 3,000 partners. And our executive team has 100 plus skills and combined experience in direct sales in an industry that is ignored. And I'm gonna share, Dr. Roz is gonna share with you why it's important to pay attention to that industry. And we help shape and guide multi-million-dollar companies, you all. And we take 1% of that total gross revenue to empower underserved communities. And we have a 5-star rating. So when you look at our line of new products, you all, the purpose is to elevate and to lift something. Let me see, to lift you, right, to a higher position. This is the purpose of our products. This is why it's now time to elevate. It's time to take things up to a higher level. And how better to do so, right? Because there's so many people that feel that no matter how high you climb, something is preventing you from reaching your highest potential. And so I want to ask this question. What is something that's keeping you from elevating? Is it failure? Is it rejection? Is it anxiety? Is it loss? Is it illness? Is it depression? Elevation requires help. And this is when I said that 4 amazing women stepped in to help us take things to a whole nother level. And then they went even further. Dr. Rita McGuire, our chief medical officer, went even further to develop a whole medical advisory board. These are the people that we trust. These are the people that we have deemed as medical professionals, and that should be giving us the right answers. So why not take it more holistic? Because these are people who not only use our products for themselves, but also for the people that they serve and their patients. So what are some of the root causes that we've been compromised? Unprocessed trauma, right, creates emotional toxins that impact your mind, your emotions, and even your will. So what happens? You looking at economic disparities are some of the outcomes: violent crimes, pay inequalities, healthcare, food and nutrition, workplace discrimination, and I can go on and on. But there are certain consequences that we have seen that have really impacted us, right? Mental health, heart disease, cancer, chronic pain, financial hardship, and chronic diseases. I'm a cancer survivor, and I'm proud to say that. However, I did not have the options that you all have now. It was chemotherapy to my whole entire body, and then radiation to the brain. So some people might say I'm not wrapped too tight, but it was time at that time for me to elevate, and it's time for you to elevate now. So what are your desired goals? Is it fitness? Is it weight loss? Is it improvement in health? Is it pain relief? Is it more energy? Is it saving or making more money? Well, our products have impacted these industries, and you're looking at combined of about $3.4 trillion that's on the table for you to get a piece of it. And women in cannabis, it's already proven that there's a demand. When you look at demand supply, 60% are interested in making money. 68% experience personal health benefits, and 90%, you all, 90% of women who were surveyed consume cannabis at least once a month. So when you look at our line of products, you all, we have every single thing that would cause you to do what? That would cause you to relax, that will cause you to relief, that will cause passion. And I mean, I'm seriously talking about, don't go to the liquor store, convenience store, gas stations, men looking to boost up your whatever. No, we have natural, organic, third-party tested, agricultural department of compliant, farm bill compliant products. And then a lot of products, some of them don't even have cannabis in it at all. But we make sure that those products that do, that they've been third-party tested and full panel tested and producing a certificate of analysis that says you don't have to worry about what we would say when you're under random drug testing for THC or testing negative, right? Or that there's traces of CBD, because we do have a line of products also that are pure, right? But if it's hair that you're focused on, alopecia, traction alopecia, and you've been suffering from that. If it's your skin, maybe it's eczema, maybe it's a rash, whatever it is, maybe it's dryness. Maybe you need more energy and you need to pump it up. I tell you, we've been getting our workout on. Dr. Prince has shared with us how we can take more controls over our bodies by understanding what's going on. fitness is important. I didn't think it was. I hated working out. But now I'm working out. My body is changing. My energy level is high. My wife loves me, even more. It's just amazing. And then detoxification, not just fasting, but detoxing. How many years have you been eating dead? Eating dead, meaning it had blood in it. And we're not vampires, and definitely not Jeffrey Dahmer, but it had blood in it, and you cooked it even more to make it even more dead, and then you ate it. I was one, and now it's just been over the years sitting in your body. So a cleanse is necessary. I want you all to consider our plant-based lifestyle. I want you to consider eating according to your blood type. Get the bioscan. Don't run away from it. Introduce your family, introduce yourselves to it, and let that happen for you. Find out what's going on the inside of your body through our bioscan, and begin to take control over your body before it spreads and it's causing harm and inflammation and mucus and fat buildup in your arteries. And learn whatever if you don't know your blood type, feel free. Today is the day to go to the website and get a tremendous discount off of everything. It is still Black Friday sale going on to Cyber Monday. Take advantage of all of this of what I'm sharing with you now. And you could do this blood type test kit from home. You can call the person that invited you and say, come on over. The whole family is over this weekend, and get everything done and find out what's happening. Now, we don't make any claims to mitigate, treat, diagnose, or cure any disease. That's not something that we do. Our smokable products, because we do have smokable products, but if you're age of 18, you can't even shop with us. If you're not over 21, you can't shop and get the smokable products that are on the website, right? And you should consult with a physician regarding if you're under medication, prescription drugs, consult with your physician. I say you should consult with anybody that you trust, your physician, if you're going into GNC too, and you're going into Walgreens. Now, why? This is a rhetorical question. Why is Walgreens Walgreens and CVS selling CBD? Why? Why does that even make sense if it was just to get people high? Why? Now, we stay in compliant with the FDA. And as I said, we follow everything that is in law, right? That is regulated. We don't break any rules. So with that being said, you all, there's someone that I want to bring up to the stage. And man, let me tell you, she's tough, but I'm a little rough and stuff. And you know the song, rough, well, anyway. But I want to usher in a woman of God, and she is so thorough when it comes to presenting. Everything she does is professional. And when you see the output of what she produces, you know it's a gift from God. Now, if I had to confirm it, and if I did my research on this woman, well, the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. She wrote dissertations in theology and divinity. So y'all know not that she needed that to be a woman of God. It was already in her. She's just making sure that when you go look her up, and I'm going to tell you, go to her Facebook page and take a look at her. When you look her up, and I'm telling you that because she didn't have, y'all ever hear of Benjamin Buttons? She didn't went in reverse when it comes to the way she looks. So not only does she talk the talk, she walks the walk. And I want to bring her in because some of you might not know about the opportunity and the money that's on the table. The money, y'all hear that commercial? It wasn't Creflo Dollar. But the money that's on the table. Yeah, raise your hand if you want to hear about the money. And I'm going to bring up to the stage Dr. Roz, the first ruby out of Texas, the first emerald out of Texas. And wait a minute, she going to be the first diamond out of Texas. Am I right? Yes. So bringing up to the stage, Dr. Roz, are you there?
I am here. I am here. I am here. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Fantastic. Thank you, Minister Mooney, man. Glad to have you back. I'm telling you, dropping the mic all the time, wealth of information. And I know most of you already, you have received information that has taken you to another level because they keep so much from us. But really, now I really want to share something with some very special people. So let's get to it because I got a lot to share in a short amount of time because I want you to know something, and there are only some specific people that I really want to talk to today. There are 4 kinds of people that I really want to address for the next few minutes. That first person is that person who tells me all the time, I don't sell, I don't like MLMs, I don't like network marketing, I don't like. And that's all you're doing is just shaking your head. But you are the same person that also tells me that you care about people. You're that person that tells me you want people's lives changed. You want to help somebody. If I can help somebody, that's your epitaph. And you're that person. That's the first person that I want to address that I believe is here today. The second person that I want to talk to is that person who says to me, I'm just busy. I don't even know how they got me here today on a Saturday morning because I'm busy. I got my own business. I got my own company. I got my own network marketing company. I'm dealing with my family. I'm a caretaker. I'm this. You're just crazy busy. But you're the same person that wants to make money while you sleep. You're the same person that wants to count money in your bed. You're the same person that just wants to wake up, look in your back office like I do, and check and see how much money have you made today while you were sleeping. Then there's that third
Love
person.
it, love it, love it.
That
Love
third
it.
person I want to talk to is that person who says, I'm going to leave here one day. Yep, I'm going to check out and I'm going to make a transition. Only you know where you're going to make that transition. But you also don't want to leave it behind without leaving a legacy. You want to be the person who says, I want my name, and it ain't Rockefeller, but I want folk to say what mama left me, what grandmama left me. And it's not just a good word or a kind saying, but some money. Hello? And then that fourth person that I really want to talk to today is that person who, like Minister Mooney was talking about, is tired of missing opportunities. You're tired of being poor. Did he tell you? He already told you. What does it mean? Passing over opportunities repeatedly. So you're ready for that to end. You're ready to change that curse in your family. So let me tell you something real quick. Wakanda. I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad that my husband and I flew to Chicago the day this company launched and sat in a room and realized it was an opportunity. And we've got 7 ways for you to get paid. Now, here it is. It's up to you whether you use 1, 2, 3, or all 7. I'm just the kind of person that if I've got 7 gifts under the tree, I'm opening up all 7. I'm just saying. So here you got 7 ways to get paid. Let me briefly kind of brush through them so you'll have the understanding of what we're talking about. You've got an online dispensary. What does that mean? You become the Amazon. See, I refused during this Black Friday season to shop at Amazon. I'm refusing because guess what? I've got my own store. I had somebody just send me a text talking about, here's a store I want you to shop at. Had some same products I got in my own store. Why would I shop at another store when I've got products at my own store and I get paid when I shop? Because you get paid 20 to 50% of the CV. We teach you how to look for that, how to know what it is on every single product. And you earn the money and you don't even have to have the inventory in your hand. They're going to ship the inventory from Chicago to your customer in all 50 states. Because did you hear from Minister Mooney that CBD and all these products that we have are legal in all 50 states? You're earning 20 to 50%. And your customer, as well as yourself, gets free shipping with a $75 order or more. But get this, here is the heart of our leadership. Since the pandemic started, they lowered the shipping to $50, and it has not changed since then. I love it. I love it. And you're going to get affordable, natural, and organic products. That's why I'm shopping at my store, because today we're starting to have secret Santas. We're going to have gifts that are under $10 and $15 and $50 and $30. You're going to be able to put things together for your aunts and your uncles. Listen, that's why you go shop at your own store. We're going to have Cyber Week coming up. We've been doing Black Friday. It's still Black Friday until the end of today. But guess what? Starting tomorrow starts Cyber Week. You're going to have Cyber Sunday. You're going to have Cyber Monday. And then what happens if you tell somebody who tells somebody? See, some of y'all don't think you network marketing. I beg to differ. Everybody does. Because guess what? If I come to your city or your state and I get off a plane and ask you, where can I go get something to eat? You're going to advise me or to refer me to where to go. And guess what? You don't get paid. Oh yeah, the company got paid. The restaurant got paid, but they didn't say hello, thank you, or nothing, and didn't pay you nothing. But when you share what we're talking about with anybody and they say, can I have my own website? You start getting paid as well, because now you can make anywhere from 15% all the way down to 1%. And if they want to go into business with you, because Robert Kiyosaki says the richest people in the world look for and build networks, then you get paid again. $400 all the way down to $20, $200 all the way down to $10, and $35 all the way down to $5, depending on which dispensary they decide to purchase. And then, listen, here's my favorite part of Wakanda. There's a pool of money, because every single month, this is part of our compensation plan, guys. Every single month, there's a 4% pool of money from the gross revenue. That's before the bills get paid. That's before the profits are made. 4% is set aside month after month after month. And those that decide to work their business, sapphires, rubies, those are rankings in our company. And we teach you how to get there. Every month that you hit those numbers, you share in that 4%. And then the diamonds, you see they're on this pool. But guess what? They've got their own pool. Diamond 1-star to all the way to 5-star. There's a second pool of 2% set aside every single month. And every time you hit those numbers, you share in that pool. What do I mean? Let's just say if the value of the share was $100, the Diamond 1-star, he's in this first pool, he gets 40 shares. So that would be 40 times 100. Yeah, do the math. But then because he double dips, he also gets 10 times the value of this share. I think that's a nice little paycheck month after month after month. And then they get to share, they get to not share, but they get to receive a car allowance from $500 all the way up as you progress from 1-star to 5-star. And let me tell you something, we will have Diamond 5-stars that will be doing $1 million in a calendar month. No, not year, in a calendar month, guys. And then trips. You know what? Our CSO, Phyllis Nash, says it best. The best way to travel is when you don't have to pay the bill. When you don't have to foot the bill. Yes, we've got a retreat coming in Las Vegas that you can win, that you can qualify for, and we're going to Dubai in 2024. Beautiful thing to go to Dubai. But when you don't have to pay for the flight, when you don't have to pay for the accommodations, that's even better. And then guess what? Here's how you can do it. $14.99. That's our best, good, better, best. Our best package is our $14.99 total dispensary with tons of product. That's me. Actually, $1,500 worth of product. The whole thing is valued in $2,300 because not only do you get product, but you also get the ability to go to our Wakanda University. You know, this is what makes us different from so many companies, because we're not about just getting you product or selling you some product. Education. You heard Minister Mooney talking about cannabinoids and CBD and the endocannabinoid system. How do we know that? We're not medical doctors. He told you, I've got 2 doctorates, one's in theology and divinity, but I know what I know, because I've gone through Wakanda University and learned about social media marketing and building a customer base. I've sat up under Dr. Rita J. McGuire, our chief medical officer, and learned about CBD. She spoon feeds you everything you need to know about CBD. And Dr. Joy, head of our compliance, tells me and teaches us what to say, what not to say, how to say it correctly. And then the compensation plan, nobody does it better than our chief sales officer, Phyllis Nash. So you're going to learn all of that. And if you want to get the better plan, $7.99, good, better, best, it's in the middle there. Yeah, this particular dispensary is $799, and it's got a lot of our great selling, our best selling products. It's an $1,100 total value. And then our starter pack is $199 with a $500 value. And you just get started with a few of our products. But let me tell you something right now. I can't not tell you about this right here, because time is running out. I'm telling you, how would you like to share in 1% of the company's gross revenue? Did you hear me earlier talk about 4% and 2%? Yeah, that's normal. This right here only happens once a year. 1% set aside from the top, from the gross, and you become what we call a founding member of Wakana. If you just got here today, this is for you. Because here's the thing, we've been doing it every year since we started. And in the last 40 months, we have accumulated $8 million in gross sales. That's approximately $200,000 per month. Now, let's figure this out. The way this company is constructed, our model, more money goes out to the field, people like yourself. And we've already done 3.5 million in commissions that have been paid out. Who does that? I've been with companies that didn't nearly come close to paying that kind of money out in commissions. That means approximately 44% of the revenue is going out to people that help to build the business. Now let's do the math. 1% of that $8 million comes to $80,000. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is the amount that we've already paid out to our founding members. And just in 2022, we started this October, November, and it's getting ready to end. I'm gonna tell you in a minute, this is real time sensitive, but in cash back money and Wakana bucks, already we've paid out $63,200. And since we started, our founders pack, our founders opportunity for you to get shares of the company, $310,000 since 2019 has been paid out in cash back and Wakana bucks. Oh Lord, I'm getting excited because I know that this is one of the greatest transfers of wealth of our lifetime, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna ask you the question again. How would you like to share in 1% of our company's gross revenue? I need you to take that in. Here's how you do it. Because really, I showed you some other packages that we always have. But if you really want to get the best of the best, here it is. For just $19.99. Can I just round that off to $2,000? You can become a founding member. And you can share in this 1%. And listen, if you went to any other place and talked about shares, they would give you a piece of paper. We're going to give you product. And you're going to become a founding member. I'm talking about all of the best-selling product, 2 of this, 4 of this, 3 of this. And then we're going to take it to another level. We're going to give you some money back. Yeah, you know, they call that rebates and you got to mail something in, but not with us. You're going to automatically get some money back. You're going to get $200 cash back. Then you're going to get $200 Wakana bucks for you to spend. So if I'm getting $400 back, did I really spend $19.99? No, I really didn't. And then you're going to get paid like you're a sapphire. Your person who brought you in is going to get paid commissions. Listen, and if you want to, you can get more than 1 share. We'll let you get up to 3 shares. How cool is that? Okay, 3 shares. So what is that, Dr. Roz? Is that 3 times 2,000? That would be $6,000. Man, that's pretty good, but guess what? That's incorrect. Because you can get up to 3 shares. Your first share is going to be the $19.99. Your second share would be $9.99. Oh my God. Do the math again. That's not $6,000, that's $4,000. I shared this with a guy the other day and he couldn't believe it. You mean I can get up to 3 shares and only pay $4,000? Absolutely right. And if you're already in Wakana and you're deciding you're going to upgrade and get you some more shares or get your shares because you're a crown jewel, you started at the top already, it only costs you the $9.99 for up to 3 shares. Now you don't get a break. No, you don't get a break. Just do your math. 3 times $9.99, okay? But here's the thing. You not only will you get the shares, not only will you get to share in the 1% of the total gross revenue, your name's going to be on the wall. Why is that special? Because one day, your legacy, your children's children, scripture says we should leave an inheritance for our children's children. One day they'll be able to look on the wall, see your name, you've already gone on to heaven, and guess what? They'll be able to say, Granny was there. Mama was there. grandma, whatever they call you, was there and did not pass over the opportunity. So I'm saying to you, it's very easy to qualify to get your shares. Just 3 transactions on your website. You, yourself, and I'm just saying, come up with 3 names and buy something every month and you get paid the shares. But what if, let's just say hypothetically, you got too busy, you forgot about it, you're still going to be a founding member. It doesn't even matter, because one day, I promise you, one day, when this company reaches 500 million, 100 million, when we reach 1 billion, because that's what we're projected to reach based on what Dr. Mooney, I'm gonna call him Dr. now, because what he just showed you and the rebranding and the reimagining that we're doing and the global aspect that's getting ready to come, hey, that's where we're going. So even if you miss a month, you don't lose your status as a founding member. You just wouldn't get paid that particular month. And the moment you wake up and come to yourself, like the prodigal son, and you wake up and realize, this company just hit $1 billion. I better go and get me 3 sales. Guess what? You start reaping in the benefits of being a founding member. So don't do, he gave such a wonderful scenario of the boy in the barbershop, because what he's doing is putting his money in a bag with holes. Where's your money going right now? Okay, what potential could 1% be? What potential? Where are we putting our money? Think about this. Here's one place we put it. How many of you got a cell phone? All you Android users. But how many of these phones have you gotten? How many times have you changed your phone and upgraded? How many times has Motorola sent you a check? Okay, so you say you don't use Android, you're iPhone users. All you iPhone users, tell me, which one of these have you got? How many of these have you got? Were you in line at Black Friday upgrading your phone? Well, show me, please, the last check Apple sent you. But yet you are putting money into their company. Or maybe you don't use your phone like that. You don't upgrade, but you got kids. They got all the latest Jordans. But has Nike sent you a check? Okay, so maybe I didn't cover anybody here. I got you. I am an Amazon Prime member. I'm guilty. But I refuse to shop at Amazon during Black Friday, because they have not sent me a check, but yet I pay for this Prime membership month after month. So I'm saying to you right now, since Amazon's not sending you a check, then you need to be a founding member so that you can at least get, our average has been about $4. And the thing about this, it fluctuates. You don't understand what I'm saying. See, the number fluctuates based on the number of people in the pool, and it fluctuates based on the revenue of the company. Did I not say in the last 40 months, we've hit $8 million? Did I not say that we're reimagining and rebranding ourselves? Did I not say that our revenue has gone up every single year? I don't think I said we've been in profit every year. But this is paid not off of profit, this is paid off of gross revenue. So here I need you just to stop for a moment and meditate. Meditate on this. Did you get that? I don't think y'all got that. I don't think you know what I'm talking about. I need you to meditate again. Because this door is closing. See, every year we've opened up this window of 1% and allow people to come in. But this ends. Today is November the 26th. 4 more days. This door is shutting, not to be opened again. This is the last time that people will be able to come in. What does that mean? And why am I slowing down? And why am I excited about that? Because now, every month, every year about this time, the revenue goes down because more people come in. But when the door shuts forever, that only means that the revenue is going up, but that only means that the value of the shares will continue to go up. See, this founding member program is not an investment, because investments are based on what? Profit. And they give you a piece of paper and you got to wait for the company to get into profit. Like Amazon, they had to wait 7 years before the company got into profit. if you qualify for a share any given month, you are guaranteed. When do you hear that word? You are guaranteed to pay out a payout based on the value of the share. It's shutting. So today, make a decision. It's your time. You're here on purpose. You're here for a reason, for this season. And we're just totally ecstatic about what's getting ready to happen. Back to you, Minister Mooney.
I'm gonna tell you, that was off the chain. Amazing. I can't wait to see let's pause the recording. And I can't wait to get the edit of that presentation. That was amazing. Now I know I saw myself in that, right? And I don't think your presentation was a respected person. I think all of us saw a part of us in that. So now the question is, with that door being shut, and let me say, I heard your emphasis on the door being shut. And if you all have been around a while, like myself and Dr. Ross, where first year we wanted the door shut. Second time we wanted the door shut. Third time we like, would you shut this door, Melissa? Please.
Yes.
And now it's shut. Now I'm gonna tell you, you have so many people, and I was talking to Mama Dorsey and Gerald and Erica and so many other people, you know, Miss Bernadine, and we like, okay, if this door, I don't care what happened, it's gonna be a march on Washington if this door ever open again. So it's not. So y'all remember the March on Washington? I mean, so with that being said, I think it's important that we all identify, and I'm sitting in Wakanda right now, and although it's empty, I already see the people that's sitting in these seats because they've already placed their butts in them numerous times, and you have the opportunity where I'm sitting can be yours. This can be yours, and you officially say, that company that's worldwide, that's not doing any more virtual because the pandemic is coming to whatever it's coming to, but it's not like it used to be. And as we go global, it can be yours. And it's not going to look the same. Clearly through the Akana brand, clearly through the transitions and the shifts and all the new technology. I can't share it with you because of non-disclosures and agreements but it's so much more than what we have ever been exposed to. And it's people like myself that's been in business for over 25 years. And I am somebody who loves to take risks because I know in taking the risk that there's something that's there. And that's why I asked you to please take a look at that movie, The Men That Built America. Well, you can build your own nation. You can build your own legacy. You can build your own tribe. You can have dominion, power, and authority over whatever it is that God gave you, that promised you, that gave you his promises and says that it's possible. But you need a vehicle. And there's always help. So what are you going to choose? And I'm going to leave it right there. You have not just this day, you have about 4 more days. I wouldn't miss it. I would come up with a solution. I would find a way. If any time that your car battery or whatever didn't start and you needed to get to work, now's the time to find somebody to come and pick you up or find that help. This is your car. If it ain't moving right now, you need to get to work. So what you gonna do? With that being said, I like to open up for questioning. If somebody has, I saw one, I'm going to answer that. The price, because I saw regarding the price of, if you're brand new, your first share today is not $2,000, because that's what it was previous to Black Friday. It's $1699.95 for your first share. Each additional share is not $1,000. It's $899.95 up to 3 shares, right? So first share for new people, $1699.95. If you're brand new, right? And the other 2 shares are $899.95 each, right? So that's not $4,000. That is whatever that math is, right? Now, if you are currently in the company, now this just, I pray that you are, and I think Dr. Raj did cover this. Last year, and Melissa said this to me 2 days ago, it just doesn't make sense not to go all out if you already have some shares. If you already have 4, or you have 3, or you have 2. It just does not make sense to not grab the 3 that's being offered to you now. You are not going to feel good. You'll have something, but it's not going to feel good. And this, I just know it, is not going to feel good not to try your best. Whatever it is, try your best to get these 3 additional shares. Because what it means is let me just say it like this. This is me saying this. I don't want to this is not the company saying this. I have 4, well, now I have 7, but I had 4 shares. That means that if I bought none, that means everybody who's brand new in this company that's coming in right now will get 3 shares, and I only have 4. That just doesn't make sense. I put the work in. That doesn't make sense. So I'm like, oh, yeah, to whom early bird get the worm. I had already had my 4. I'm taking it to 7. And don't get me wrong, it just feels good that, okay, now I'm like, all right, Melissa, now it's fair.
And I tried to win one the other day. Tried to win one.
I'm telling you, and look, before the month is out, I'm gonna be like, Melissa, don't you want to let us get to 8? I mean, yeah, if it's possible, why not? One person, let me tell you, it's by chance that the person who won that 1 share, and then another person is winning another share. Do you all know that 2 people in the whole company, the way that it was explained, I'm just saying, if I win my share, I want 8. Let me tell you, do y'all know that 1, 2, and maybe this one, I don't know. I talk a lot, but if I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna call, this is my joke, and then I'm done. I'm gonna call Miss Bev, I'm gonna call all the Emeralds, I'm gonna be like, hey y'all, we need to all be on the phone with Melissa and have one of them pools again, one of them drawings.